maybe 26 years later, but still the confusion. I'm on a broadcast platform here, Mexican, Spanish television, German, Austrian. They're reporting blanco, blanco, white, white. We have not heard the bells, obviously. And the people are rushing here to St. Peter's Square. The word has gone out that it is white smoke, certainly within this area of Rome, and they are coming into the square. I can see them moving across some streets here. They block traffic to allow the crowds to move around here safely. We're still waiting for the bells, but I don't think the people care much. It's interesting, Brian. They want a pope, and they want him now. And
the bells have started.
We've got bells,
well, Brian, I have to tell you, the mood here is absolutely electric. You've got people like absolutely convinced it's white smoke. There may be no bells, but they don't care. They're actually going and saying it's going. I think we've got the bells going now, Brian. We have a new pope. The first pope of the third millennium has been elected in the Sistine Chapel by the 115 cardinal electors. We shall hear his name fairly soon, I would think, Brian.
The bells are ringing at around 12:04 Eastern Time. You see the clock over the bells in the Vatican. All 7 bells
Who picked
proclaiming
it?
the news we believe
Who's the daddy?
official.
Stand by. Go to the left.
A new pope has been chosen.
Hi there, Brian. Well, a remarkable experience here, right in the middle of the square, right next to the giant obelisk behind me, surrounded now by tens upon tens of thousands of people. They have, as you say, been streaming into this gigantic square once they heard the news that these bells were not bells for the 6 o'clock hour, but indeed bells to announce a new pope. The mood here is upbeat. It is one of expectation, but I've got to say there are many more smiles than tears. A lot of digital cameras, a lot of children with their families, also a lot of sisters in habits. There's a tremendous amount of sacerdotal presence here, of Catholic presence here, but it is just an extraordinary group of people, young and old, who have come waiting now for one word only, and that is, who is the new pope? That is the big question. We do know that 40 to 45 minutes, Brian, from the time of the acceptance of that new position, the pope will come behind me to that loggia, which is curtained in red, the papal loggia. He will make an appearance with the senior cardinal deacon, who will say, in Latin, of course, "I announce to you news of great joy. We have a new pope, Habemus Papam."
And George Weigel, I think it's a good time for you to, in your best Latin, walk us through the wording we will hear and tell us precisely where we will hear embedded in that the name of the new pope, which you will, at the time, I hope, help us with and blurt out when you hear it.
Brian, with hopes that my high school Latin teachers are not listening too carefully, the formula is as follows: Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum habemus papam. Eminentissimum ac reverendissimum dominum, first name, Sanctae Romani Ecclesiae Cardinalem, last name, qui sibi nomen imposuit, papal name. So I announce to you a great joy. We have a pope, the most eminent and reverend Lord, first name, Cardinal of the Holy Roman Church, last name, who has taken upon himself the name, papal name. This is a city that feels its relationship to the papacy very, very deeply. There has been a curious sense of emptiness almost in the air here. It was raining ever since the funeral of John Paul II, almost as if Rome was crying over the period of a week. And now you see this crowd, which is not merely Roman, but as you see from the flags, from the Czech Republic, from Ireland, from Portugal, from Brazil, from Colombia, from the United States, from Poland. These are people who want a spiritual father again, and they're about to meet him for the first time.
The admission is free. It's a little bit crowded, but these people are here. Oh, we've got a big crowd.
Here we go,
I
Keith.
guess we've got a movement. Yep, well, we've got a movement on the curtain.
George Weigel will provide translation. Cardinal Medina will make the announcement to the crowd.
Fratelli e sorelle carissimi,
Dear brothers and sisters,
queridísimos hermanos y hermanas,
In Spanish,
bien
dear
chers
brothers and
frères et
sisters.
sœurs,
Now in French, the same, dear brothers and sisters.
liebe Brüder und Schwestern,
Now in German, dear brothers and sisters.
dear brothers and sisters,
The English language.
annuncio vobis
I announce to you a great joy.
Habemus Papam.
We have a pope.
Eminentissimum ac reverendissimum Dominum, Dominum Josephum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae Cardinalem Ratzinger,
Head of the Catholic Church.
McFarland has just fainted.
The 265th Pontiff.
Posuit Benedicti XVI.
Benedict the 16th. Pope Benedict the 16th. Cardinal Ratzinger is known to have a great devotion to the Benedictine order, the foundation of Western monasticism. Often goes to Benedictine monasteries for retreats. Takes the name of one of the diplomat popes of the 20th century, Benedict XV, the pope who guided the church through the First World War and attempted to be a mediator in that great struggle. He was asked why he had taken, Cardinal Ratzinger, a bear with a backpack on its back, on his coat of arms, a curious heraldic signal. And he explained that the bear comes from a legend in which Saint Corbinian, the founder bishop of Freising, reprimands the bear for tearing the bishop's horse to pieces on its way to Rome, and as punishment the bear is made to carry the saint's load to Rome. Ratzinger saw in this an image of himself. He had chosen the life of a scholar, but God had chosen to make him into a draft animal, the bear that becomes his donkey against its will. Isn't that an image, Ratzinger asked, of who I am and what I should do? I have carried my load to Rome and have now been wandering the streets of the Eternal City for a long time. I do not know when I will be released, but one thing I do know, that the exclamation applies to me too. I have become your donkey, and in just this way, I am with you. That tells us something about the humility of Pope Benedict XVI. Joseph Ratzinger was born in Bavaria in 1927, I believe. Educated in seminaries there. His older brother, a priest, was a famous choir director in Regensburg in Germany. Ratzinger was one of the youngest professors of theology in the German university system, a major figure in drafting the central document of the Second Vatican Council, subsequently a professor at numerous universities in Germany, called by Paul VI to be the Archbishop of Munich in 1977 and to Rome by John Paul II in 81.
Pope Benedict XVI.
I'm all set for you.
For a microphone to be brought in. Here it is. We'll apparently be hearing from the new Pope.
Cari fratelli e sorelle,
Dear brothers and sisters,
dopo il grande Papa Giovanni Paolo
after the
II,
great Pope John Paul II,
i signori cardinali hanno eletto me,
the
un
cardinals
semplice,
have
umile
elected me,
lavoratore nella
a
vigna del
simple,
Signore.
humble worker in the vineyard of the Lord.
Mi consola il fatto
I am
che
consoled
il Signore
by the
sa
fact
lavorare e agire
that the Lord
anche con
knows how to
strumenti
work and act
insufficienti.
even with
E
insufficient
soprattutto
instruments.
mi
And above
affido
all,
alle vostre preghiere.
I put myself in the hands of your prayers.
Nella gioia del Signore risorto,
In the joy of the risen
fiduciosi
Lord
del suo aiuto permanente andiamo avanti.
and with his
Il
permanent
Signore
help
ci
we
aiuterà
go forward.
e Maria,
The
sua
Lord
Santissima
will help
Madre,
us, and Mary, his most
sta
holy
alla
mother,
nostra parte.
will be on our side.
Grazie.
Thank you.
This is the first German Pope since the 11th century.